Hey, welcome back to A-Aron Reacts, and if you're new to this channel, welcome. I will tell you that Angelina Jordan is something special, and I've been doing a lot of her videos for a very specific reason. She's amazing, and her fans love her as well. So, that said, I have continued support from her fans, and that's one of the main reasons I continue to, and now this is no exception. I got this 10 Buy Me a Coffees from Jim Rowe supporting this channel. By the way, folks, if you are new to this channel or aren't aware, I always in my descriptions include a link to the video, the original video and artist. So do check that out, as well as ways to support this channel. And I also want to continue to remind you that we are on the Angel Quest. If you don't know what that means, go back a few videos of Angelina Jordan where I announced Angel Quest. So without further ado, let's take a look at why we're doing what we're doing. This Buy Me a Coffee from Jim Rowe. A-Aron, glad to see you back doing reactions. I like your reactions to Lucy Thomas. I've been getting a lot of support for her lately, but I don't want her fans to be the only support you're getting. So to keep Angelina supporting you, I'm buying some coffee. Anything from her earlier years, like 11 or 12, that you skipped over would be great. Also, Jim Theo has been busy while you were on a sabbatical and has a lot of the more recent stuff. I'm sure he'll be in touch, if not already. Peace and love. And yes, I have been chatting with Jim Theo. And in fact, that is the reason I chose this one specifically, because most recently I had a request from Jim Theo to do Diamonds Are Forever at Vegas last year in 2024. So I figured since I did that at the age of 18, why not go ahead and do her doing it at the age of 11 and a half. So here we are. This is Boris Palenovski recording from Proysenfestivalen on July 21st, 2017. Again, she was 11 and a half then. And we'll do a little bit of comparison if we can, if I remember what I said about that or otherwise. But regardless, I'm sure it'll be a joy. So let's check this out. Yeah, and I will say right as it gets going, I love performances with this group at this festival. Just everything is a good time, really. So I'm sure this is going to be fun.
Diamonds are forever. They are all I need to please me. They can stimulate and tease me. They won't leave in the night. No fear that they might desert me. Diamonds are forever. Hold one up and then caress it. Struck it and then undress it. I can see every part. Nothing hides in the heart to hurt me.
I like that.
Diamonds never lie to me. But when love
nice. Grooving. A little bit more funky feel to it. Yes, I think we could do away with the echo at the end, but wow, that was a lot of fun. Guys, I wanted to stop 2 or 3 times during that. That took some restraint on my part, honestly. But I'm kind of glad I didn't. So, let's talk about overall feeling and sentiment. First of all, this is a very, very different feel from the Bond version, as well as, Shirley Bassey in general, as well as what we heard from Vegas. Those felt much bigger and more, what's the word I'm looking for? Riveting almost. Whereas this felt more groovy and, like I said during it, funky. Right? And actually it makes a ton more sense knowing some of the other performances I know in this concert, right? The set list and how things go in is really a big factor. And we know she's an absolute master, even at the age of 11. At this point, she's already a master at how she, organizes these sets. And so I think it's fitting for this type of concert where, we've seen some big numbers from her that I've already reacted to, right? And it does typically retain more of a funky feel. So that is a fitting for this setting, I think. We saw a very different response in Vegas, or very different intro in Vegas, where again, she was walking onto the stage. I had commented, I received some comments after the fact, that maybe I had commented how she started late. She came in late, right? And, it kind of, I wasn't sure at first, and I thought maybe it was by design where she was changing it up, but then I realized no, she came in, she had her intro, it was the opening number, so it was appropriate. Plus someone even commented, she also had a 50-pound dress on, right? But, she came in, partially through the first verse. Here she came in, not only on time, but before you hear those horn hits, the big one. So it was kind of in the intro section, as it was intended. We hear a much, much lighter feel, a flowing feel from her on the high notes. And I love the tone of her voice in the upper register here. You don't hear that from her much, especially at this age. And that is really refreshing. I think those belts were strong, especially the end one. It felt like the first one, I thought she was going to get a little bit bigger. I mean, it was powerful, but knowing what she's capable of, I think she reserved a little bit. And again, we have to consider, that there's this, preteen, performing a full set where she's going to town and ending up a couple numbers and she probably by design reserved it some, but it was still a big number. And the band was tight. I wasn't blown away by them, but they sounded good. They were grooving. They were having a good time back there, as you always see with this horn section, at least. And they were tight, and they were playing off one another very well. I like this one. I like this groove. It was a lot of fun. It definitely felt like, it was her own interpretation of this song at this point. It didn't give the same Bond vibe that, I certainly got in Vegas from her and, the Shirley Bassey version. But I think that's by design. And, with that said, I really like it. I think it was a phenomenal performance. Really, outstanding. I've got no critiques on it, right? Little bit of a different style and different feel and groove, but again, by design, I think. So, well done. And again, thank you much, Jim. I'm going to keep this one relatively short. It's actually the last video I'm recording today, and I got to spend the rest of the day with the kids. So, not that I would cut the video off short just because of it, but I don't have a whole lot to add, so I'm not going to just drag it on for no reason at all. I'll keep it relatively brief, and I want to thank all of you fans. And hopefully, if you haven't yet subscribed, you will now. And we will see you in the next one. Take care.